Hey everybody, I have a wonderful and special guest. Hank Green is here to talk with us about his experience with chronic illness.
Hi Katie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
So,
it's a funny thing to say after you're like, let's talk about your chronic illness. I'm doing great.
It's
no,
such
I
a
am
thing.
actually. Particularly my illness has been pretty good lately.
So just so I understand, and if those of you out there don't know, Hank suffers from, and let me know if
Ulcerative colitis.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Similar to Crohn's?
Similar to Crohn's, but not as. It's basically like Crohn's is expanded. So
Gotcha.
it's an inflammation of. It's an autoimmune disease, an inflammation of your digestive tract. Crohn's is basically from like all the way down, from the mouth on down.
Oh,
And it
okay.
can really be even in, all the way. Whereas colitis is just the colon.
Okay.
People are like, what do you mean? Tell me all about it. So you kind of think of it as like, have you ever gotten hives?
No.
It's or like an insect bite.
Yes, or like rashes.
Yeah. So it's like that, except in my colon.
Okay.
And it can get bad enough that it then ulcerates and bleeds and it's,
Gotcha. Yeah, because I'd read a little bit about it, so at least I kind of understand. Don't Google it and look at images at all. It's very traumatizing. I'm not a doctor. I was very overwhelmed. But it sounds like one of the most common symptoms is like bloody diarrhea.
Yeah. That's like the first sign. Well, it's generally if that's happening, go see a doctor.
Go to the doctor.
Lots of bad reasons why that can be happening. One of the mid-level reasons that isn't like you're gonna die soon is ulcerative colitis.
And because I have a lot of viewers who suffer from all sorts of different ailments or chronic illness, ways that you best manage. Because I know you've talked on your channel, and I'll put the links to the videos I mentioned in the description, but about how it can be really hard to deal with it sometimes, and everything from embarrassment to depression, frustration, all of those things.
Yeah, for me, I think that partially because it happened somewhat slowly and I had a very supportive environment, and also because like I was older. This is just something, colitis often happens to people who are younger than me.
Oh, okay.
I was able to deal with the embarrassment more easily. Like it's sort of like the first time you poop in your pants in your life. That's never gonna be a good day.
No.
But like the 8th time, it's like this is a thing that happens.
This is what happens. I just have to be more prepared, right? I mean, extra pants and underwear with you at all times.
But I think that the number one thing for me is just the lack of control, and you want to have that control, and you think you're gonna find a way to have it. And like, if only I could control myself, I could control what I eat, I could get on this like special diet that's like everybody says that this is good for colitis, and if only I could like make myself do that, I'll be okay. Or if only I could, make myself take this, I'll take the medication that has the really bad side effects, that I should be able to control it, and sometimes you just can't.
Yeah.
And those months when I'm trying really hard and it's not working, that's the worst. Whereas just like, I can't live the life that I want to live.
Yeah.
Also, I get to sort of structure how I work and when I work, and the mornings are usually very bad for me, so I often don't go into work until the afternoon. And that's just ridiculous amount of privilege that I have in dealing with this. But it's that frustration and knowing that when I can't live what I see as a normal life, that, the thing that I'm imagining as a normal life isn't normal for me.
Yeah, your norm is going to be different.
That's just not my normal anymore.
Yeah.
And that's hard. But it's almost a grieving process. It's like letting go of your normal life and being sad that you lost it, and then finding a way to move on.
Yeah, and I think that's a message that a lot of people need to hear, even myself. Like, things are going to change in your life, and there are going to be things that are out of your control. And I think allowing yourself the time you need to grieve is important, and it's going to be different from everyone else's experience. I even have a video on grief and grieving. I talk about how odd it can be and how it can come and go. And there'll be days where it's really shitty, and then other days where you're like, oh, it's pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good today.
Yeah.
And know that that's all normal. Just making sure you give yourself the time.
There are a lot of things that have gone right for me, and also some things that have gone wrong for me. And we're all, somewhere on an infinite number of bell curves, and I'm on the shitty side of the ulcerative colitis bell curve, but I'm on the really good side of having a good family bell curve.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said about support systems. That's
Yeah.
something that I always encourage my viewers to create or appreciate or take time. It's just, like it can be family, it can be friends. We can create our own family. A family is not something that's supportive to you, but that can definitely be a great support.
Yeah, and knowing that, like, just the way that I try to maintain my digestive health, I also try to maintain my relationship health.
Yeah,
Because that's so important.
agreed.
Especially when you have bad things that you have to deal with. And knowing that I shouldn't be trying to protect the people I love from this, and trying to hide it from them because it's a pain for me to deal with, and I don't want to like expose them to that
Yeah,
BS.
I hear that all the time. Yeah.
But knowing that like they want to be there for me, and I need that. I need it.
Yeah.
And you can't do it.
No,
If it's hard, it's all like you can't be the person who's like, I'm gonna do the hard thing all by myself, and like nobody's gonna know that it exists. You have to maintain your relationships for the people that you love and also for yourself.
Letting people take care of you when they offer it up, I think, is something that can be difficult to accept, but so wonderful once you do.
And I don't even feel bad anymore when like there's a little bit of this. I don't know how to say this without feeling like a total jerk, but there's a little bit of like I have this disease, and it makes my life less good, and it also and thus my wife is really nice to me when I'm sick, and like she takes care of me, and she and like I can I like that.
Yeah.
I like that she's wants to do that and like interact with me in that way, and like and I like to be taken care of. But for a long time I felt really bad about it, like I was kind of exploiting my illness. Where like when I saw her being sympathetic toward me and I felt good about that sympathy, and I was like,
And you felt guilt?
and then I feel guilt about feeling like I'm feeling good because of my illness right now, because otherwise my wife wouldn't have a reason to have this sympathy for me right now, and I wouldn't have that feeling of like this person loves me.
Yeah.
Which is that's
No,
a whole
it's
other
a
thing
whole
to get
nother-
into is like that I need proof all the time, but I feel like maybe we all
Everybody
do.
does.
Yeah.
I think that's like a human condition, and that's why
right.
we strive for connection and
Right.
people and communication.
The most important thing is the medication that I take, and finding a good medication. The medication I'm on is a little bit dangerous, so I have to go make sure that I go in and get
blood
my blood
levels.
tests and
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And then it was really frustrating in the beginning because I didn't have health insurance, and like it's like $300 a month,
Yeah.
and there was stuff that I could have been taking that I couldn't afford at all.
Yeah.
And then when I finally got health insurance, thanks Obama, I was able to get this stuff that basically this is like sort of particular to me, but when I'm starting to head down the slope, because it comes in waves and
Okay.
flare-ups, and then like you're sort of in remission.
Okay.
So when I'm seeing a flare-up start happening, like I can take this stuff that's really expensive. It's like to buy a 30-day supply of it is like $2,500.
Holy moly.
So I can take that stuff, and it was like $20. It was ridiculous
You're
on my insurance.
Where you're like,
So
oh.
yeah, so I finally have this stuff, and I can take it and just for like 3 to 5 days, and
okay.
prevent myself from going into a flare up.
So are there things when you're having a particularly hard time other than family? Like, have you ever been in therapy before? Or are there, do you go out and get social more? Are there things you do to try to help yourself feel better, or have people come over, I guess, is more comfortable?
No, I work.
Is that how you cope,
Yeah.
kind of? Yeah.
Yeah, I have this thing where I feel like I don't want to be useless. Like I want to I want to be useful to people or the world, and so like that makes me feel really good. And also like this dumb thing I have inside of me where I'm like, if I can do it with this disease, then that means then I can imagine what I could do without it, kind of thing, where I feel really good that I can accomplish something even though I'm working around this disease. Of course, it being one of the many one disadvantage I have among the many advantages I have in my life.
Definitely.
But I don't know why, but I do tend to sort of go into exploration of ideas or implementation of ideas.
Okay. During that time,
yeah.
if you're having a hard time.
Yeah.
So it gives you,
which is
YouTube gives
nice.
you
Yeah.
kind of a purpose in a way where And I think that's the cool thing about doing what you're passionate about and spending time in your life doing things that fulfill you and like make you feel better. And that's something, even as a 32-year-old, I've been working for since I was 16, essentially, to realize that in the last like 2 years, that how much better I feel doing something that I love. And I know that that's a privilege that I hold, that not everyone is able. But if you can find something, regardless of whether you get paid or not, I think that there's a part of the human condition that it's important for us to do things that help us feel better and fulfilled in some way.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, it doesn't have to be, but for a lot of people, it's producing in some way.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty rewarding. And I am kind of sad that we live in a society where jobs like that aren't very common.
But I just want to thank you for taking time to talk about it. I know it's not the happiest topic, but
no, I've done it in a couple of places on over the years, and it's very rewarding when I hear that people have been helped by how I think about this stuff.
Yeah, and I think it is helpful. I know that I hear from a lot of my viewers that they want to hear from people who are going through similar things, because there's, it's nice to know we're not alone. That's like my whole channel is like, you're not alone in it. We all suffer from the human condition in one form or another, and the more we can talk about it, the less scary and icky it can feel.
Absolutely. And I feel privileged to have outlets to talk about it.
Yeah.
Have people who will listen to me, which is great.
Yeah, and I'll put the links to Hank's videos where he's talked about it before in the description.
Thanks.
Thank you again for
absolutely.
taking the time.
Thanks for doing what you do.
Oh, yeah, of course. I love it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
And a lot of the things that I do, I feel like this is probably just me trying to have control over my life.
Yeah.
Let's hold there.
Hold.
Yeah.
Somebody's being rescued.
Yes, important work.
One of the dogs in on it.
He's so excited.
And that's the way of the world.